Hi guys, welcome back to another installment of Professor Charles It's Live. And let's talk about the new series Digimon. Very happy to hear that the series has returned. Very different from the original series, but let's talk about episode 1. Episode 1 so far was by far the most interesting episode. Happy to see that this episode primarily focused on Tai and Agumon. In this episode, we see the other Digidestined, but the only ones that we see throughout the episode mostly is pretty much Kari, which is Ty's little sister, and also we see Izzy. And I love the aspects of them of Izzy and Ty, like they're neighbors. Izzy doesn't know much about Ty. They grew up in the same little complex. And you can see Izzy came to Ty's door, and Ty comes in with the welcoming hands, come on in, and stuff like that. And Izzy, I guess, not being really comfortable with it because he said, "Look, I barely know you." But we see that aspect of it. One thing I loved about this episode, this very first episode of Digimon Adventure 2020, because it takes place in 2020. I love that they really gave the digital world a new look. Don't get me wrong, the original look for the original series was great for that time being, but it actually looks like a inside of a freaking computer and web browsers and all that stuff. And it reminded me of if anyone's seen Mega Man Battle Network animated series, that's what Digimon 2020 Adventure reminded me of. It reminded me of Mega Man Battle Network. I like the aspect where Tai and Agumon we see fight off these viruses. And the thing is, we see mostly Tai and Agumon. That's the best thing about it. Because in the original series, I felt, don't get me wrong, all the kids, we saw them except for Kari, which didn't appear until later on in the series. But I felt it was good to see how Tai and Agumon bonded. One thing I really loved about it was the evolution when Agumon became Greymon. It was so freaking cool. I saw Greymon literally, he looked like a Tyrannosaurus Rex. Then he started to grow the horns. I said, oh, snaps. I said, boy. And we see Agumon using, his attacks, his fire attack, where he shoots the fire and fighting them head on, like all these different viruses. But we also see Izzy making an assist. But also in this episode, we see Izzy get his Digivice. So Digivices are now tablets and smartphones. So it's more current, up to date. They didn't go to the digital world. Either their tablet or the phone that they have became a Digivice. And I like the new looks for the Digivice. They don't look the same as the original, which I'm pretty okay with. I didn't have any issue with that. I said, I'm cool with the Digivice being this way. But also we see when Agumon fights the virus in this bigger form, when he became Greymon, the virus became his bigger form. We see that the Digidestined now, they are linked to the Digidestined in a different way where they get their powers. It's like Goku, like with the Spirit Bomb, but with the Digidestined giving their power to their digital monster, which I thought was really neat. So we see Greymon come off with this big old fire attack, and I feel like watching the battle, it reminded me of Godzilla. You had the virus like have his beam attack. We see Greymon have his fire attack, and it's kind of like going back and forth, back and forth. You're just like, dang, this is really dope. But that was one thing I did. That was another aspect that I loved about the show. And also towards the end, I was really glad that they kind of gave Tai and Agumon more time to develop a bond in this very first premise of an episode. And towards the end, who do we see? Matt with his new look. Matt has the new fresh winter coat. I'm like, bruh. But the other thing about this episode, we got a chance to see the Digidestins in their newer looks. Like Izzy has a hoodie now. Tai has it's not a hoodie, but it's got like a hoodie pocket at the bottom. That was really neat. Like I said, Kari looks like a cowgirl basically. We see Mimi briefly. We see Joe. And also, Kari's going to summer camp in this actual episode. So we probably won't see Kari until like later on in the series. unless TK is gonna be the one they gotta, they change the storyline. But one thing I did love about this, the storyline is definitely new. That really worked because I was worried when I heard they were gonna bring back Digimon season 1. I said, as much as I like shows, sometimes the original show is better than the reboot. Reboot's better than the original, but this was the original story. It deals with cyber terrorism, with viruses. So the Digimon are dealing with viruses within the internet, the digital world. That's really neat. I like the new looks for the Digidestineds with their clothing. That's a plus for me. The story kept me interested, especially when Agumon and Tai were inside the digital world together, and how Tai went to go save, I think Koromon is Agumon's other form. Him diving in, trying to save the Digimon. I liked Izzy's relationship with Tai, them becoming friends, I guess, in this episode, because Izzy said, it looks like you're gonna need help. And Izzy telling him that this is not it. There are other viruses around this digital world, which I thought was really neat. And I think I got a feeling that Izzy it's a possibility, he may appear in the next episode. We know he's helping Tai through his laptop, as usual, typical Izzy. But I really like the new series. I thought, me growing up on it in the 90s, and to me, Digimon was always better than Pokemon because Digimon had better realistic things going on with it, relatable themes, even some darker themes to some extent. But I felt this show was very well polished. I love the new animation for it. As much it changed, it came out in the 90s and now it's 2020, and I think that's pretty neat. Like I said, I like Ty's character. Ty was always like literally my favorite character from season 1. Izzy probably was my second favorite character because I related to Izzy a little bit more than Ty. But I think this show is going to be around for a while. Absolutely. But I'm happy to see that they gave it a new storyline, not the same. So we're going to, use the same storyline. And like I said, we all see the Digidestined in this episode, but doing different things. The only ones that we mainly see is pretty much Izzy and Kari, besides Ty, and then Matt towards the very end. But you guys tell me what you think. Did you like the very first episode of Digimon Adventure 2020, or did you not like it? You tell me in the comments. Until next time, guys, Moment Ty, I'm out.